A bright, beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. Like I told you, this is the business treasure tip. In-house, you can see that we have Becky. Either me or her, we're in each other's dreams in terms of putting on the similar color. I don't know what this color is called, but I'm sure it's called cinnamon. But well, right about now, I want to let you know, guys, that Becky actually yatandika business ya liquid soap. Becky, just show us. Liquid soap I forgot to let it. So you can see that that's just one of the colors that Becky's has made. She makes different colors, green. I mean, I've seen gold. I've also seen blue somewhere. So when you are also hoping to start your business in liquid soap, she will be telling us with 30,000 mitwale satu go generally blowing up with your feelings here at Andikawo business. But good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh yes.
And I want to thank God for the opportunity, and a vote of thanks goes to the management of Promise TV.
Okay. And well, now obongo inebuzo bino yagala tubuzo njagala ko say number 07495050 mukaga 0 okubanga obuze ekibuzo kyonna kyagala okubuuza Becky in terms of liquid. So Becky, someone is watching and saying, you said Becky Haddy, right?
Yeah.
Becky Haddy, tell us, like someone is watching and like, who's that girl?
Well, Rebecca Erina, Nashville.
Oli Muganda.
Yeah, I'm in Uganda.
Wedira ki?
Nedila Mamba.
Checho.
I'm in Uganda, and I'm a Christian born again.
Wow.
And I thank God that I'm a minister.
Wow. Oli mu worshiper, oli mu
I'm in choir.
Okay.
I'm a programmer, I'm an interpreter, and I'm a Sunday school teacher.
Hallelujah.
By God's grace.
Wawakula agamba oyo emitwalo ali abamututte obanze musaleko.
I'm not searching actually.
You're content yet?
Yeah, I'm content.
You're still married to Jesus?
Yeah, actually that is it.
Well, Becky, nzikiriza to moving it to the liquid soap. Yeah. Like, what's the best time to do this liquid soap?
The best time I think it's afternoon.
Kurachi afternoon.
Afternoon, because most of the time, if you want the leather to come out very well, that is the weather. That weather can be very favorable. If at all you want a high quality product.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, very interesting, Becky. What kubanga business talkira muloli gumu nogamba I'm going to start to do this. Naye chatandikirawa walaba kuchi wawo yaku inspiring.
Yeah, actually it was my best friend. She's called Mariam Amma. Yeah, she had made some liquid soap for her church. And me, by the way, I didn't tell you, I'm a journalist, I'm a professional journalist.
Wow.
I have a degree in mass communication and journalism.
Interesting.
Yeah, from Cavendish University, Uganda. My university, my pride. So I studied with her.
Okay.
And then she was like, I want to make some liquid soap for my church. I had to escort her to town. We went to Superior Complex in Arua Park. She bought the chemicals, and then she went and made. And then the next time I asked her, how did it go? And she was like, it was successful. We just gave it out to congregants. I didn't sell. I was like,
you did it for free? Like you were shocked, eh?
Yeah. And I was like, I think I can also do as well. She was like, I can escort you to town again. And then we went, we bought the chemicals. I had to request for 50K from my sister. She's called Maria Sandres. And then she assisted me. I went and bought chemicals for 30,000. And my first batch, I made 3 jerry cans. And then she assisted me. She was there. She told me, Becky, mix this, mix the other.
5 jerry cans. Tugera 5 liters, tugera 10 liters.
20-liter jerry cans.
20 liters, meaning 30,000.
Yeah.
Becky, at this time, wali okolachi? Wali osoma? Wali ononya mulimo? Wali okolachi?
No, I was job searching. Because I graduated in 2021.
Chawulira chityanga okoze 3 jerry cans out of 30,000.
I was so excited, and I was like, this is good money, because the jerry can is 40,000, and then you multiply 4 times with 3. I think that's 12. So it was like 120,000.
Wow.
Imagine I started with 30,000 and then it multiplied to 120,000.
What like at that point, how did you start your marketing? Watandikira ku mikwano gyo oba watandikira ku TikTok or?
I started with my friends, relatives around home. I was like, I sell liquid soap. Can you have a look? I started giving out free samples. I got this water bottle for 500, and then I started giving out free samples, giving people at church, giving my neighbors, and then advertising on WhatsApp. I took pics and then I posted on my status.
Ndaba watuleteddeko obuntu obwo.
Yeah, this is my sticker.
Waliwo alabagamba, this business, what's its name? Actually, she's called Rina Liquids, luxury liquid soap for every home. So kombuli nalabyeko liquid nga wa orange, omulala nga wa pink, omulala nga wa blue. Which color did you start with?
I started with yellow.
Okay.
And it was a challenge to me. For me, I preferred yellow, but I didn't know what the market wanted. And people started confusing with shampoo, others cooking oil. Yeah.
And others thought it's just juice.
Yeah.
So which color actually moves more than the other colors?
I think it's green because that's what the market, the audience knows that it's liquid soap is green. There is also another color close to green. It's called blue green. It's
blue
actually
green,
it wants to look like navy blue, but it's not navy blue. Yeah.
Wow. In business eno golowooza nti okubanga omuntu aba akola sente kinga gwe, how did that help you from being a job searcher to starting your business?
It helped me, like it exposed me to different people. For instance, Angel Walker.
Tabyogera tojjayo kyama kyaffe. Kirekeeyo.
Yeah, and it connected me to other people, like those in the liquid soap world. Somebody will say, for you, how do you do this? When I go to buy chemicals, I just find that people, liquid soap makers, very many of them. And I was like, I'm tired, I want to give up. The lady told me, don't even give up. I've constructed a house in this liquid soap, don't give up, not even one day. So I've met good people who encourage me.
You know, how long does it take okubanga okola liquid soap ono? Kubanga zinakulabye go mixinga, nengamba does it take 2 hours, 3 hours?
It can take like 30 minutes. It depends on your speed.
Okay.
You just buy chemicals, the ungal, what people call base, and then you just put it in a saucepan, or you start with what you have, a benzene, and then you mix it, like you stir it in one direction, and then you add salt, you add other chemicals in there, and then within 30 minutes your soap is ready. But you have to keep it for 24 hours. Most of the time, if you make it in the afternoon, you leave it for a night, and you come back tomorrow morning, then you pack.
What happens nga omukoseza immediately?
Immediately, like
nga tasetolenze overnight.
Abatanafuka sabuni. Something wabawo
ekibulamu time yalina okubanga nebye mixinga.
And again the caustic soda aba akyali concentrated because the urea we use it neutralizes the acid and the caustic. So that's why people say sabuni yanjokyeza. So aba akyali waggulu, you have to leave it to cool. Yeah.
You know, many people actually they struggle kubanga bafuna business name. How did you zero down to Rina Liquids?
Rina Liquids. I thought of, by the way, I first thought of abbreviating my name, Rebecca Erina Natural, and then I say Reni Soap. And I discovered that there are very many liquid soap makers with such ideas. They abbreviate their names, what, and I wanted a unique brand. Yeah, people tell me, why do you call it liquids? I was like, we make more of hygiene stuff.
Yes.
Because I don't only make soap, I can also make shampoo, the sanitizer. And they're like, liquids, I wanted a unique name.
Something different.
Yeah, that's why I used one of my names, Erina, and then I shortened it to Rina.
Wow, soko tuwulire kati tulinawo kana akadomola soko kasitola abantu bakale bayinza ogamba twatadde muteese maze. So how much does that go for if you have made your liquid soap?
This one is 12, but if you have 10, I can give you. You know, the people say I have 10, what? I can give you, but it is 12,000.
Kati tumaze okukola liquid soap waffe packaging, what do you determine? 5 liters, 20 liters, 1 liter, 1 liter jelly?
No, I don't have that. There are people who sell it, but for me, I start with 5-liter jerry cans. I buy my jerry cans in large number, and then if I make like today, tomorrow morning, because where I stay is not where I make it from, so I have to travel to the other side, and then I just get a jug and then start pouring in jerry cans.
Oh dear.
The big jerry can, the 20-liter jerry can, and then this one.
Kati liquid soap wona abantu bamanye just kusemola nyumba. Omuntu asobola omukozesa okwoza ebintu?
Yes, asobola omukozesa okwoza ebintu, asobola omunaba. Actually nze namwegezesaako ninnaaba ndabo batayokya teyanjokya.
There's a curious question for many customers nga bagamba liquid soap ona expiring oba ta expiring. What's its shelf life?
It expires after 2 years.
2 years.
But after 6 years, the fragrance reduces. The perfume, there is a perfume we use, it starts reducing. Yeah, but the quality, that will happen if the quality is to reduce, it will happen after 2 years.
What's the biggest material you use inside the liquid soap?
The biggest material?
Yeah,
I think it is the salt.
Salt.
Caustic soda and the CMC.
Okay.
Some people call it thickener.
Thickener, okay. Okubanga tumulaba ali thick.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. I love. Nenga bichi byosobodde okwekolera ko Rina, like gwe ng'omuntu kubanga that time you were looking for a job, nobeera nga at least osobola okwetuusaako some airtime, or maybe you've saved up to buy some piece of land somewhere.
Not really. I can pay my rent. Yeah.
Well, kati mu week oba omwezi okolamu nga sente mmeka average?
In a week. Let us start from a day.
A day, okay.
If a day goes bad, you can make like 50,000.
Oh dear.
If at all you don't, because some people have where they sell from, they have the physical address where they sell from. I have one, but most of my sales are online.
Wow.
Even if I post and someone doesn't comment, I know my customers. I keep on checking on them. How are you? How is the soap? Is it done? At times I even call. So in making calls, I can get like 5 customers. And if a total of them take like 2 jerry cans, that is some good money. Yeah.
I feel like there's something bigger than rent, maybe to daily feeding yourself and being able to meet others.
Yeah, by the way, I feed myself. I also pay rent. Yeah.
Naye omanyi nti navigating the market space, especially liquid soap, tekibeera kyangu. What could have been some of the challenges you encountered?
The challenges I encountered, one of them was the market perception, because I started with the yellow
it's
color.
Okay, you can. Oh,
like
you still
I
want
started,
to hold it?
Of course.
Okay.
I started with the yellow color, and so people are confused. They were like, that's not how liquid soap looks like. It is green in color. What's that? Yeah, that is one of the challenges. And then also limited capital. I wanted to invest in my social handles so that I boost them and people get to know about Rina liquids. Yeah.
Who are your target market? What people do you, companies or organizations that you sell to?
As of now, the locals, the local people in the community. Yeah.
Okay.
The friends, the relatives, yeah. Because I'm looking forward to getting a barcode. I want to go to URSB and then register, and then I get a barcode. I start supplying in supermarkets, because goods can't be ushered in a supermarket without a barcode. They first scan them. Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. Vision chijo inokulaba nga Rina Higgs tambula mas. Rina liquids.
I want it to be one of the biggest brands in Uganda. Yeah, being started by a woman, and me being a feminist, it will really sound good.
I can see already in the future. But what are you curious about? Okubanga watendeka nemitwalo esatu. I don't know why I'm calling you Rina. Let me call you Rina. I find it easy. Rina, what was self-doubt? Maybe where you get out with yourself at that time, ngotandika this business, and sometimes you get challenges. What could have been some of those things?
Like I was like, how will people see me? I have a degree and I'm making liquid soap.
Mass communication.
See me, yeah, people will see me as a failure. People will see like, people will see me as someone who is lost. I was like, but I can use this, I can apply my journalism in this business.
Wow.
Because I make ads for myself, I record them. Yeah.
How was that a big opener for you? Wawazula nti 9 to 5 jobs, obado teka more applications. Nogamba, now I have my business. How has that transformed your mind? Kumanga walio vude Cavendish University wagamba, oh my God, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna apply, and now here you are, you have your business. Chakuchusa chitia in terms of mindset.
It changed me, like, not to focus on one thing. You should be versatile, and then if you started maybe education, you don't look at only education. You can start up a poultry farm, you being a teacher. Yeah. So I was like, I'm not going to focus on one thing because I have a degree in journalism, and then I don't get jobs, so I'm going to focus on journalism. I was like, I can start up something else.
Wow. Golowooza abantu abalemedde ku white collar jobs ne bagamba, me, I cannot do those jobs, I cannot do that. What do you think they're missing out in business?
I think they're missing out very many business ideas, because if you start up your own business, there is a way it sharpens your thinking capacity.
Mukasero bero lowooza client addako.
Yeah, and then you inspire others. The people out there that are desperate, they say, I don't have capital, I don't have this, I don't have any business idea. But if you inspire others, if you start up your own thing, it can inspire others. You do your best and people may like it.
Along the way, who are some of those people you've inspired? Ngotandise business here. Bagamba, Rina, you did that. I also want to do it.
Very many relatives of mine.
And they're very proud of you.
Yeah, they're telling me, someone, like, those people, those campus girls, they don't want to do any other thing. They want white collar jobs. How come you did this? I was like, I had to think out of the box. And then there is someone who sponsored me with the stickers.
Wow.
I had the idea, but I was like, I don't have money to go to NASA Road and then print out. And then there is a journalist I studied with. I was like, because there is a paper they introduced after I left the university. It's called Computer Applications in Journalism, where they do graphics, and I was like, I can't do anything. Let me talk to this person to help me out. I just drafted what I want, the sticker, and then I gave him our products, the merits of the soap, and then I chose the color to be blonde. He came out with this, and somebody sponsored it. It was not even costly. It was only 50,000. Then I had to go 50,000. I can't tell, because when I making one, he charged me 50,000. And then I went to NASA Road to print out.
Yeah, the cost price of designing and doing something, then Nogenda NASA never cover very many stickers.
Yeah.
I understand.
Each sticker is 300. That is how cheap it is.
The money is all around us. That
is it. That is it.
Very interesting. I'm very impressed with Club Auntie. You have really done something for yourself. But one of the key things is, what message do you have for business owners? Liquid soap, but across the ranges and your network. What advice would you give them?
What I can tell them, you start with what you have. Don't wait for, let me say, large sums of capital. You start waiting for 1M. You start with what you have. Me starting, I didn't even have a tank, because there is a tank they use to put liquid soap. There is a machine for 300 they use to make. I used a pesto. Like, it's locally known as musekuzo. It's what I used. I didn't have a tank. I used a saucepan. So you start with what you have.
Wow.
And learn fast, because my friend came and assisted me for the first time, and then I just learned from her there and then. The next time she was just there supervising me. The third time, the fourth time, she's not even there supervising.
You became the expert.
Yeah.
That is very impressive. One of the key things is that Zenda Banti, you're being able to do something for yourself. And very many young people out there, bacha tambulaga bagamba, I need this job, I'm waiting for this job, and still applying. But what experience have you had? Nga experience in mbot. Buli wajirowoozako gamba banange more business. It could be maybe customer ordering and delivering, or nokola big bulk, maybe tula. Or is there something that happened?
Yeah, there is something that happened. Actually, when I make it, there is something I used to cover. It's a papyrus mat, locally known as kawempe.
Kawempe.
Yeah, kawempe is what I used to cover after making it. So one
Oba
time,
ekiwempe.
yeah, echiwempe. Yeah. One time I made my soap, I covered it with a papyrus mat. Actually, I made it on Friday and I was like, on Monday I'll be here. But unfortunately, I was caught up and then I went on Tuesday.
Mwalimu ngalitanga meka.
There were 5 jerrycans, 20-liter 5 jerrycans.
Oh dear.
And then, you know, I make the liquid soap from my grandma's place. It's not where I stay, but it's where I make it from. And then there are very many reasons. The market, yeah, most of the people are there.
At the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So one of the rats, you know, you have a banana plantation around. If you're close to a garden, the rats can be there. The rats fell in my 5 jerrycans.
20 liters.
I
That
came.
is 100 liters of liquid soap.
I came and then I had some bad smell. On opening, I found I had to pour all the soap.
That was a lot of pain. Kubanga, I mean 40 times 5, that was 200,000 lost.
I had to pour all the soap.
I'm so sorry about that.
It's okay.
But what are the experiences Zoe along the way in terms of client interaction and also money related?
When it comes to clients, you have to inquire from them at times the opinions regarding your business. You tell them, how is the soap maybe? If you're selling tomatoes, you say, are my tomatoes good? It helps you to improve on your product.
Customer
For me, I ask
reviews.
them, yeah.
Wow.
How did you find it? How is the fragrance? They say, at least add some perfume.
Tongera perfume, kavula mokwa.
Yeah. And then others will say, I don't like that perfume. And then you start buying different flavors of perfumes.
Wow.
One will say, I would want the colored one. So when you're making, you have to first separate.
Theirs.
Like maybe 1 jerrycan, depending on the order, and then you put color later because the other one wants the one that is colorless.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I've learned to save, by the way.
Okay.
Initially, I could not save.
Principle chitubuli.
I save. If most of my money is just sent via mobile money.
Okay.
You send via mobile money. Let me say you send 50,000 after removing the tithe and offertory.
Disciplined woman of God.
Yeah. That is like 7,000.
Yes.
And then I just deposit the money on my bank account.
Ntwagala principle. Oyingiza mitwalo 5. Nojjako tithe ne offering.
That is 7,000.
7,000. Tusigazaako mitwalo 4 mwoko 3. Kati tubulire saving principle. Is it by 20%? Is it by 10%?
I don't have a percentage, but what I do, I just deposit the money. If at all I make like, let me say 7 jerrycans, and then when I know I've invested like 70,000 in 10 jerrycans, or yeah, actually that is it, 10 jerrycans, 70,000. I just save the money. But if at all I've sold like 3 jerrycans and I know I'm left with only 2, the other money of 3 jerrycans, it's the one I save, and then this one, the last 2 jerrycans, is what I use, and then I invest in again.
Wow.
Minus touching the other one.
Otugambye customer review n'otugamba ne savings. Ekyokusatu kyekiro.
Ekyokusatu.
Kyoyize lessons oyize mu business.
I've learned about the market perception. Yeah. People know how the products look like, so they should mind about their branding and labels. People know. I made the yellow one and said, liquid soap is always green. What is this? This is shampoo. Is it cooking oil? Is it juice? So there is that market perception. People know how the products look like. So you should mind about your branding and labels, and then choosing the color. To liquid soap makers, you have to choose a good color to attract your customers. Yeah.
And could there be something that you talked about your friend okubanga kugulira stickers neno golowooza nti branding naye n'engeri gyekosezaamu abantu mu business?
Very much.
Ddala abatandika startup.
Yeah, if you don't have maybe a sticker, if you've not yet branded your product, at times it can even lead to less sales. You know, first impression matters.
First impression.
Yeah. There is when someone sees this, says, oh, what is this?
And I also like the color. Kwanga ka blue, kali nice, kali pretty.
Yeah. So what I tell them, they should mind about their branding.
Branding is paramount
Yeah.
and key. And what would be your last message to viewers and the people also in a more similar business?
My last message would be let them persist and be patient.
Okulemerako.
Yeah, persistence breaks resistance. Even if you have low sales, persist. Keep on doing that. Keep on doing that. You may do your best and people may like it. Yeah.
Oh, gwe tabaddewo omugenyi gwe twadde naye jo baadde bamuyita I think Dora n'atugamba business is hard especially ng'otandika abantu amu balya profit waabwe nga bakamufuna nga bakateekamu ne balaba nga bafunye mbaka kibobawo.
By the way, your first profit, you shouldn't eat it. You have to invest in back. You make like 50,000 as your profit. Last time you made 3 jerrycans, you make sure this time you make 8. The first money, you're not supposed to eat it. You invest it back.
How long should this be?
Like thrice. Yeah.
Before you take out the profit?
Yeah.
Very impressive. I really love that fact. But as we draw nearly to a close, oh my God. But anyway, how would you advise people who do not separate personal finances and business finances?
That is very dangerous. You should separate that income because you even end up eating the capital itself. You eat the profits and then what you invested in initially, and it can even lead to the collapse of your business.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Mugoloza danger chiche eletera okujjako collapsing the business abalina tendency eno.
Apart from
okubanga leero yeetaaga data n'ojja mu mitwalo 2 olulala ate ofiiriddwa n'oteekamu kwegamba bw'otyo ne bw'otyo business ebeera etya at some point.
Actually, business ebeera moving slowly. You can even make low sales. You can even make losses. Apart from low sales and then losses, because most of the time you just get money out of it. You don't, instead of bringing in money, you just get money out of it.
Wow, that is very impressive, and I believe we have had one of the most beautiful things today, especially with Rina, that is Becky, Natubulira, how she started the business in terms of that is 30,000 to minting a lot of money from it. Rina, how would you want to be remembered on the Sunrise Show?
Sorry?
How would you want to be remembered?
I want to be remembered as one of the young ladies who put their education aside and then had to think out of the box to start up something for themselves that can inspire audiences. Because at Rina Liquids, I didn't tell you, like we are more passionate about making effective and affordable liquid solutions so that we promote cleanliness or hygiene in communities. Yeah, so I want to be one of those people that remember who promote hygiene in communities and inspire young ladies out there to start up something. Even if you don't have capital, you can request from someone. 30,000 is just little money. Yeah.
Very impressive, and I believe that we have had one of the most wonderful time with you, Rina Becky. Manango balekulemera ko balokugamba as white collar jobs kansoke nkuleke nsoke ntandike business, and I love that. So many of you that are watching us, some of you have still refused actually to put your jobs aside and titles and saying, hey, I have a master's, I cannot do this business. But Rina has something very important, especially Okobamo business, Okolemerako, and watching what others are doing so that you can start. I love the fact that she has mastered her business and in terms of improving it every single moment. We want to thank you, Rina Becky, for having you today on the Business Treasure Tip. It's been very wonderful. And of course, allow me sign off right here. Mbade mugambo, tutela bachala. Abami Bajja. Era we Komileko from Miss TV. See you tomorrow sometime on the Sunrise Show at 7 a.m. My name remains Angel Walker.